Vocabulary and concepts to know: heating of land, heating of water, ocean's effect on climate, local winds, land breeze, and sea breeze. When comparing the big idea of land versus water, it's important to remember that our land is made of rock. The land of Earth is the crust of Earth, which is made of rock. So when the land heats up and it cools down, it does this faster than the water. Water heats up more slowly than the land, but holds the heat longer. An example would be sand on a beach at midday may burn the soles of your feet. However, if the cloud covers the sun for a few minutes, the land will become cool. At the same time, the temperature of the seawater at the edge of the beach will have changed very little from the cloud coverage. Therefore, the land cools down quicker than the ocean or the water. How oceans affect climate of areas near the water. The temperature of water does not change as quickly as land. In the fall, oceans are still warm from the summer's direct sunlight. Warm ocean water warms the air over the nearby land, causing areas near the ocean during the fall to be warmer than areas further inland or towards land. You might think, why is it cold at the beach during spring break? In the spring, the oceans are still cold from the winter's direct sunlight. Cold ocean water draws the heat from the air above the land, which makes places near the oceans during the spring colder than areas further inland or towards land. So therefore, our oceans are affecting the nearby land during different times of the year. Oceans also affect bodies of land. The picture that you see on the screen where the circles are showing you mild climates due to location near the ocean. Areas of land near large bodies of water have milder climates than areas of land in the middle of a continent, because the water's influence on the weather. An example of this would be that Georgia's climate is mild, not only because its latitude, but also due to because it's close to the Atlantic Ocean. Oceans also affect climate because your ocean currents can carry wind to new areas, affecting their climate. So this means that warm currents coming from the equator are going to heat the air as they move, warming coastal areas. An example of this would be that warm Gulf Stream, it carries warm water towards Europe, causing Europe to have milder winters. On the other hand, cold currents coming from the poles, they absorb the heat from the air and cool the coastal areas. An example would be the cold current Labrador Current carries cold water between Canada and Greenland, causing these places to be cold. So our ocean currents also affect our climate depending on if they're warm currents or cold currents. Local winds are simply small convection currents formed near the surface of Earth due to temperature differences of the land and the water. In the picture you see a sea breeze. Okay. The sea breeze happens because the land heats up faster than the water in the daytime. A sea breeze is simply when winds move from the sea towards the land. This happens during the day because the land heats up faster than the water, causing the air above the land to become warm and rise, and the air above the water becomes cold and sinks. Because cold air moves to take the place of warmer air, this means that our air is moving from high pressure to low pressure. So in our picture, we have high pressure where the cold air is and low pressure where the warm air is. This causes a local wind called a sea breeze. Another type of breeze is called a land breeze. A land breeze happens at night because the land cools down faster than the water. A land breeze is a wind or winds that move from the land towards the sea. This happens at night because the water is staying warmer longer than the land. Therefore, the air above the water is warmer and rises, while the air above the land is cooler and sinks. Therefore, a land breeze, the direction of the wind reverses from a sea breeze. Looking at the picture, you can see that cold air moves to take the place of the warmer air, meaning that we have high pressure sink down over the land and low pressure rising over the water. Taking another look at local winds, here's another picture showing us that during the day, the air over the ocean is cooler and forms an area of high pressure. The cool air flows to the land and produces a sea breeze. As that cool air flows to the land, the air over the land is warmer, and the warm air rises and it creates an area of low pressure. So this is a sea breeze. The wind is coming from the sea, comes from the sea and goes towards the land. At night, this reverses. So you have the cold air forming over the land and blowing towards the warm air that's over the sea. At night, we have a land breeze. For your summarizer, you have questions here to help you. However, you still need to write a minimum of 5 sentences using vocabulary terms in your summary section of your Cornell notes. Take a moment to see how you do on these questions, and then I will put the correct answer on here for you to check your work.